From the pages of MikeHuckabee.com, an oasis of sanity and truth in the fake news desert, let's take another look back at the week that was. And to have that truth and sanity beamed right to your email inbox twice a day, all you have to do is sign up for the always free Huckabee newsletter. How do you do that? Just go to MikeHuckabee.com. That's it. The January 6th rally at the Capitol that was turned into a riot by a few bad actors is now the pretext for virtually everything Democrats want to do to take complete, iron-fisted control of every aspect of your life. That includes all-out assaults on free speech, well, at least for conservatives, also on election law, and now, of course, the Second Amendment, even though not one firearm, not one, was confiscated among the Capitol protesters. But Democrats never let facts get in the way of a good narrative. Words like insurrection and domestic terrorism have been thrown around throughout this process. And one Tennessee Democrat, Steve Cohen, compared the January 6th Capitol breach to, wait for it, Pearl Harbor. That's right. You remember Pearl Harbor, the day that will live in infamy, as FDR put it in 1941, a day that saw more than 2,000 Americans killed in a sneak Japanese bombing attack on our naval base in Hawaii. That attack also destroyed or damaged nearly 20 American ships, more than 300 airplanes. So, is he out of his mind? Well, that's a rhetorical question. But a very legitimate question is, what does real domestic terrorism actually look like? If you follow certain Twitter accounts run by independent journalists, you'd see the ongoing violence, property destruction, and general mayhem unfolding on a very regular basis in cities like Portland. Naturally, the mainstream media wants to bury these videos. But folks like Elijah Schaffer, Andy Ngo, and Grace Morgan have been documenting the chaos for months. Just last weekend, Portland Antifa and Black Lives Matter rioters set fire to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement building. Andy Ngo reports that Antifa barricaded the front of the facility to trap people inside while the building was on fire. And Elijah Schaffer tweeted, far-left Antifa extremists attempted to burn down a federal building in Portland again, waiting patiently for the outrage. By the way, if you couldn't quite make out the chanting in that last video, it was every city, every town, burned the precincts to the ground. And that's exactly what far-left domestic terrorists are doing, while a complicit media just looks the other way. And Democrat politicians enable all of it. President Biden, Vice President Harris, and Speaker Nancy Pelosi are all ignoring Antifa, BLM violence, and border chaos, all the time while calling Trump supporters domestic terrorists. I might remind you that President or Vice President Harris even promoted a bail fund for the Antifa rioters. Let that sink in. Nancy Pelosi said, quote, people will do what they do, end quote. And Joe Biden, in his usual state of confusion, has called Antifa just an idea. Ideas that need to be bailed out of jail, apparently. That is, of course, when they're actually arrested in the first place. Portland police reported no arrests, none, from last weekend's violence and the attempted murder of federal officers at that ICE facility. But the gaslighting by the leftist politicians and media goons has gone on long enough. It's time to get a few things straight. Antifa and Black Lives Matter are domestic terror groups responsible for outrageous violence and destruction. And I think we can safely say with more to come. But unlike domestic terrorists, those who supported Donald Trump overwhelmingly favor the law and law enforcement, as President Trump does himself. And we, the people, have had enough. It's time for us to outthink the mindless mob or risk losing our great country altogether. Well, here's some more from the Twitterverse. Squad member and race-baiting Congress goblin Rashida Tlaib, tweeted this following the police shooting of Daunte Wright in Minnesota, and I quote, "It wasn't an accident. Policing in our country is inherently and intentionally racist. Daunte Wright was met with aggression and violence. I am done with those who condone government-funded murder. No more policing, incarceration, and militarization. It can't be reformed," end quote. My response? Let Representative Tlaib give up the protection of the Capitol Police and personal bodyguards and put the word out that she won't call the police while she's at work, commuting, or even at her home. Now, to be clear, these people are nuts, but I'm also increasingly convinced they don't even believe their own racist rhetoric. It's all just an effective way to further their leftist policy goals. Shouting racism is a way to claim the moral high ground, too. Disagree? You're a racist. Now you have to defend yourself from the racism accusation instead of them addressing their own insane policy proposals. And quite frankly, that's the whole point. They don't argue or debate in good faith. You're focused on racism while they're moving the ball down the field. Here's an example. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg this week saying that racism is physically built into American highways. Highways. And if you disagree with that, or if you oppose the $2.3 trillion infrastructure plan to maybe sort of fix that or something, then of course, you must be a racist too. Senator Rand Paul pointed out, quote, "Less than 6% of this massive proposal actually goes to roads and bridges," end quote. I guess those racist highways aren't all that important to Democrats after all. Finally, how about a shout out to James O'Keefe and Project Veritas, just banned, by the way, by Twitter. I've got a feeling the undercover video showing a CNN producer admitting to producing a propaganda machine might have something to do with that. Here's part of the video.
You guys stand with these propaganda?
Oh no,
Okay, can you define propaganda?
If the agenda, say, is to get Matt Gaetz right now, he's this Republican, he's a problem for the Democratic Party because he's so conservative, right? And he can cause a lot of hiccups in passing of laws. So it would be great for the Democratic Party to get him out. So we're going to keep running those stories to keep hurting him and make it so that it can't be parried. That's propaganda. It's helping us in some way.
James, there's a great line from a popular TV show. When you cut out a man's tongue, you're not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he might say. Keep fighting the good fight. And by the way, Project Veritas also just announced they'll be suing Twitter. So until next time, these have been the facts of the matter. Now, if you're seeing this, I know you've enjoyed that video. I mean, how could you not, after all? So you know what you should do? Leave a like, click on the subscribe button below, and hit the notification bell next to it so you'll always know when I have another video up for you to enjoy.